So welcome to the Deloitte Fast 50, and we're talking to Bill Hale from Deloitte. Bill, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Andrew.
Bill, this is year 12 for the Deloitte Fast 50. What does it feel like to get to this point?
Well, it's fantastic, Andrew, the way the process has blossomed from what was quite a small little event 12 years ago. I think from recollection, a telco business won it that year, Telstra Clear perhaps, and it's really grown to this fantastic index for New Zealand businesses. And you know, we hear some of the stories about people have it on their business plans that when they start up, they want to be part of the Deloitte Fast 50 index, you know, a few years down the line, which is fantastic that the whole process has got that level of recognition.
Because there are lots of these sort of business competitions around, so what makes this one different, and what's the appeal about it?
I think the appeal for me is that it's a purely objective business process. We just measure revenue and we say how much have you grown, and we rank people on that rather than any long-winded subjective judging process around which business is better than the other or which entrepreneur is better than the other one. So it's quite an objective and clear process, and I think the fact that we get to look at a wider cross-section of different businesses and different parts of the regions around the country gives a real good opportunity for many privately owned or growing businesses to enter the index and get a little bit of profile.
So over that 12 years, how have you seen the makeup of the competitors change?
Well, we've had a range of people coming through from all sectors, really. You look at some of the perennial entrants that we've had in, say, construction companies, and you think, how can those guys continue to innovate in what's probably a hard-hit industry and keep coming back, and they've done fantastically well in their business model. And you look at some of the more logical tech companies that come through where they can get growth and basically go through a software process or something else which allows a much easier way to replicate the revenue. Then the services businesses where they're constrained by the number of people they've got. So really we do have a range of competitors from different industries, and that I think is the exciting thing.
What impresses you about these companies the most? I suppose in the current environment it's really all about resilience, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I think it's resilience, and it's probably, you know, it's passion. It's the underlying owners that are there, and they're driving the business, and they're really, really passionate about what they do, and you can just almost feel that oozing out of them and going into their wider team, and that level of inspiration, I think, drives people through some reasonably hard times.
How competitive has this become? Because you after 12 years, you've got some businesses that have been in it for multiple years. How seriously do they treat that competition aspect of the Fast 50?
Some really do, and I know there's some people that have had a goal to win the Fast 50 and they hit a revenue number which might have won a year ago or 2 years ago, and for some reason they miss out that year. But there's a lot of people that do have it part of their business plan. We see many people that have come through, got some profile, and then gone on to something big like a sale or a listing or something else following on down the line. So there's a bunch of different reasons why people enter. Competitive nature probably of some of the entrepreneurs and getting ranked against some of their peers certainly is one of those.
So ultimately, really, you would like every business to be part of this eventually, wouldn't you? You know, if they're a startup business, they really should be in this event.
Oh, certainly, and it's not just about startups, it's about those with some maturity as well. We do have special categories for those that are over 15 years old, where clearly they're growing from a larger base, so it's harder for them to replicate years of fantastic growth. But certainly it does favour the early years of a business where they might be getting some good ground in the market.
And what are your expectations about this year's lineup?
Well, I'll be hoping to. It's always the new things that come through that, I haven't heard of that business before, and you find out some exciting new things that are going on in the business community. And no doubt we'll have some of the perennial Fast 50 entrants as well. But from year to year, sort of the base to get into the 50 hasn't changed hugely. It's been around about the 150% mark. But because we do recognise regionally different industries, and this year we've got the Maori Business Award as well as a new national category, it does give different businesses the opportunity to enter even if they don't make the Fast 50 index.
And just finally, for those that are wanting to get involved, how do you go about it? What does it involve to actually enter the event itself?
Well, go to our website first, fast50.co.nz. There's an online entry form there that really means you just need to put in your revenue data for the 2010, 2011 and 2012 financial years. That's the entry done from that stage. Stage 2 is we'll have a quick chat to you around some of the qualitative data and get your insights on how you've managed to grow your business. and then that comes through a bit of a accumulation process where we go through all those numbers and rank the fastest growing businesses for an awards event on October 24.
And we look forward to the big announcement of the winners at the end of the year.
Indeed. It's always a fun night.
Thanks very much for talking to us.
Cheers, Andrew.